A month or so ago, I offered a little farm chat about the spirituality of trees. I mused that the interconnectedness of trees would be a good model for how we as humans could live our lives, feeling connected to rather than independent from one another. One of my faithful listeners and YouTube channel subscribers commented that trees are not only interconnected to each other, but they are also interconnected with other species. He gave the example of birds nesting in the branches of many a forest tree. The idea of trees welcoming into their environment plants and animals different from themselves intrigued me with its simple truth. I thought of the book The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein, in which an apple tree gives everything it has to a little boy, from apples and wood and an old stump to sit upon as he grows through the years to senior citizenship. I also thought of the trees around Little Farm. I thought of gathering sap in the late winter, the trees offering a portion of their lifeblood so that I could have maple syrup on the weekends on my pancakes and waffles. I thought of the porcupine down by the swamp who burrows every winter amidst the roots of an ancient evergreen, and on the warmer days emerges to eat the pine cones that have fallen outside its door. I thought of the pine martens at our cottage in Canada, whom I have seen using the branches of huge old trees as their playground. I thought of chaga mushrooms that flourish on birch trees and chanterelles that grow in the shade of maples, oaks, and poplars, feasting on the organic matter that a tree can't help but shed. The natural world works because its ecosystems exist together, not separately. Trees open their limbs to welcome nesting birds, their roots to welcome burrowing porcupines, their branches to engage playful pine martens, their canopies to encourage mushrooms to grow. The natural world works because it not only fosters interdependency, but above all, it values diversity. Maybe our human world would work better if we celebrated our diversity rather than feared it. In one of the several churches I have pastored here in Lily-White, Maine, a young Hispanic man came to worship one Sunday, Bible in hand. Arriving a few minutes late, he sat in the back pew. At the conclusion of the service, even before the gentleman had left, someone took me aside and told me in a loud stage whisper that she had been watching him the whole time, just in case he was an Arab terrorist. For once in my pastoral life, I was speechless. Diversity of opinions and perspectives, of age, race, gender, ethnicity, economic background, spirituality, makes us stronger as a human population, not weaker, but only if we embrace rather than fear those differences. Only if we are curious about what we might learn from someone who is not like us. Only if we seek to understand rather than to be understood. As my sister quoted in a reading that she did in concluding the Zoom yoga class that I'm taking with her, to look at life from a different perspective, that is the challenge. And so, for example, Black lives matter not because they are Black lives, but because they are part of a great human system, resplendent in its diversity and abundant fodder for curiosity. Same with Blue lives, same with Muslim lives, same with all lives, but most especially with those lives that are not like our own. Trees do not fearfully pull back their limbs, but rather they extend their welcoming branches and trunks and shade to birds, porcupines, pine martens, and mushrooms. And so the birds sing, the porcupines sleep and munch, the martens play, the mushrooms abundantly grow, and the forest thrives because of such a marvelous celebration and affirmation of its diversity. What if we were to do likewise? What if we were to celebrate our human diversity and welcome with open arms and curious hearts those who are different than we are? What if we, for once, followed the rules of the natural world rather than our own rules? I, for one, think the world would be transformed.